Renovated Duty Nobes will play host to LSU this weekend after a tough road trip for the Tigers last week to Athens as LSU takes one of two from Georgia, which was kind of felt like postseason baseball for an early conference matchup. Coach Nolan Cain is with us usually on Monday mornings, was kind enough to shift a day back here on OTB. Big Daddy Cain, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. We were talking about it in the first hour, and I know you guys probably have a different mindset because of the outcome. But when you look at the overall series this past weekend, a lot of people who support the team and cover the team kind of look at it as a win with what you guys went up there and how you guys competed. What did you take away from the weekend in Athens?
Well, it was really just a crazy series, man. I mean, they out-hit us on Friday and we won. We out-hit them on Saturday, they won. And then on Sunday, they get 12 hits, we get 12 hits. They rob a 2-run homer from Watson. Just a crazy weekend in the SEC, just like they're all going to be. I mean, especially on the road. Every weekend in this league, it's a grind, and it comes down to 2 or 3 pitches, 2 or 3 plays, 2 or 3 hits, and the difference of winning 2 out of 3 or losing 2 out of 3. So really encouraged with the way that our guys, our bats came alive on Sunday, and just gave us a lot of promise and a lot of fight, and that's really what it comes down to, man. Just the compete level of just getting out there and scratching and clawing and fighting for everything that you get.
Zach Hess on Friday night was a story that everybody took away. 8 scoreless for your ace. Did he answer any questions internally for you guys?
Well, I think ever since that Cal series on Friday night, I mean, he's thrown 20 and 2/3 innings with 20 strikeouts and 3 earned runs, and the base on balls have been down. He's got 9, but 3 of them were intentional base on balls. So he's just gone out there. I think, mechanically everything is great. He's pounding the zone. The big thing at Georgia was that's the best that the slider's been all year. And you just saw him throwing that pitch with a lot of aggressiveness, a lot of confidence. The fastball was great, 92, 95 up to 96. And we really just went after those guys with fastballs, man. That was kind of the scouting report on those guys, just get on them with velo. And you saw him and Cole Henry do that and pitch very well.
Yeah, great weekend for Hess and Henry. And when you look at this weekend, starting Thursday, they're going to have to be great again. Nolan, y'all are down 8 arms. Is that something that you're addressing with them going in the weekend? Like, do you apply any extra pressure to them to go deep, or is it just kind of treated like any other start?
Well, I think with the players, they feel that they've got to go out there and give us deep starts. But the biggest thing is, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've just been, really commanding the baseball well. The walks have been down. If you look at a lot of our guys, batting averages against, 260, 235, 182, 120, 118, 162. So our top arms, really aren't getting hit when they're throwing the ball over the white. And I think that's just a big emphasis going forward. I mean, with a couple of guys out, but it's kind of the same arms that we've had available the last couple of weeks anyways. We thought we might be getting a couple of guys back, but, that looks like it might be delayed a little bit. Cole Henry has done a great job, going out there, freshman, a lot of poise, man. If you saw that kid pitch on Saturday, if y'all were watching on TV, a lot of, resemblance of kind of Aaron Nola's kind of makeup and body language on the mound. The moment's never too big for him. He trusts his stuff. And if him and Hess can go out there and give us 6, 7, 8 innings again, it'll be a big boost for us as well.
We're talking to Nolan Cain here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. Yeah, that's going to be key going to a tough, Dude Noble environment. Before we get back to the weekend series, I want to ask you about Jaden Hill. Reading this morning, it looks like Jaden Hill actually has had an MRI, which is, sounds worrying, but the MRI didn't reveal any damage. So, kind of what's the current state of Jaden Hill right now?
I think it's just, continuing to stay in that training room and get all the soreness out. And, he's played catch quite a few times, and just keep him going and keep the ball in his hand when he can when he can throw and he feels good, and see if he can turn those every other days into back-to-back days, and just keep building from there and eventually build back up into getting on the mound and throwing a bullpen, and then hopefully getting into a game at some point for an inning or 2 out the bullpen in a midweek game, kind of test everything. But, the MRI coming back negative is very positive, obviously.
Coach Maneri painted a dire scene almost last night with the pitching staff of being down 8 guys. How do you navigate a week like this with a big SEC series on the horizon that starts a day early and a midweek game that you just want to really get through so you can get to the weekend healthy?
Well, I think the big thing is we've only got one midweek game this week, whereas opposed to next week, I believe we have two. So it does make it a little bit more difficult with a short week being a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's kind of tough to answer that question for you. I mean, Mikhail's going to go out there. Hopefully he can give us 2 or 3 because we're going to need him on the weekend, and then, piecemeal it together with Beck and, Vittmeyer and Fontenot and, Todd Peterson, get him going, get him feeling good. Hopefully maybe get him a couple of innings and get that confidence and that swagger back that we're used to seeing him pitch with.
Coach, as a former pitcher, how do you dial into some of these mental, I guess, to get yourself going? I mean, everybody knows Todd Peterson has the skill set, right? I mean, like physically, he checks all the boxes. When you're not performing as a pitcher, is there anything mentally that you do to maybe get yourself right that the public may not see from a physical standpoint?
We've all been there as a former pitcher. You've been there, and it feels like this huge sample size. But over since the halfway point of last year, it was just fantastic. And early on this year, he was just fantastic. And hopefully, it's just a little bit of a rut that he's going through, and all it takes is getting out there in one outing and. He comes in with a situation where there's runners on first and third with 1 out, and he goes punchy, and he just gets that feeling back in him like I'm back almost, And that's what we're looking for in him, and getting that look back in his eye where, like, I'm the guy, I'm 6'5", I'm 220 pounds, I throw up to 98, I've got a power slider, I throw strikes, I'm going to go after these guys, I'm going to get it done.
I had a rough start with my boy. I had a tough time pronouncing his name, but it's easy now in Javonte DiGiacomo.
No way. You've nailed it like 8 times today.
Play it for him. Mister.
Giacomo.
Okay. Oh, man. It's been a struggle, but I love the kid.
DiGiacomo.
How's he fitting in? He seems like he's doing great.
He is. He really is. And he's so dynamic. He's one of those kinds of guys that kind of reminds you of Andrew Stevenson. He can put a lot of pressure on the defense. If he just puts the ball in play because he's just so fast on the infield, it's going to be a bang play. He's a tough guy to double up. He's got some juice. He's run into some doubles and stuff, and he's got some power that he showed in BP, and just a real confident kid. He slows the game down. He's always asking questions. He's always asking questions to Sean of, what's my approach in this at-bat? And anybody can do that, but it's actually saying, okay, this is my approach, and I'm taking this into the at-bat the entire time. And really intelligent kid. He's an engineering major, extremely athletic. He's got a bright future in this program, and he was a really, really key player for us this weekend, and look for him to just keep it going,
Good luck on the week ahead, Coach. We'll check in on Monday morning.